Abseiling is a really common word that's used in the climbing community and also a bunch of related sports like mountaineering. It's something super important and it's something that you should definitely know how to do if you're thinking about getting into the sport. So my name is Marcus, this is Ascensionism, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about what abseiling is, what the term means, and kind of where it comes from. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, abseiling means to lower yourself via a piece of rope down a steep section. What you do is you use a device like this. I just have my ATC, this is a black diamond ATC right here. You clip the rope through it, you clip it to yourself, and it creates friction so that it's easier to control your descent and it allows you to lower yourself down a cliff face. Abseiling is really important in, like I said, rock climbing, mountaineering, canyoning or canyoneering if you're into that, because sometimes you're going to run into sections that are too steep to walk down and too dangerous to climb down, and in those areas it's really good to know how to abseil. Now, as a word, abseiling comes from the German word Abseiling, which literally means to lower. It was first used in the 1800s in the advent of in the advent of mountaineering in the European Alps. Mountaineers would go up these mountains, they would try to get to the summit, and if they couldn't get there, some of the sections that they climbed up, they would have to abseil down. So, like I said, if you want to get into rock climbing, abseiling is definitely something that you should know how to do. Where I think some people get confused about the word is it's also sometimes synonymously used with repelling. Repelling also means to lower yourself down a steep section with a piece of rope, often using some kind of control device like the one I just used. So I think a lot of people who are just getting into rock climbing can get confused because they know what a rappel is, they might have learned how to rappel, they have kind of heard of abseiling, but not really. They don't know if it's the same thing, they don't know if there's any difference. So right off the bat, rappelling and abseiling are the same thing. You can use them interchangeably. They both describe just lowering yourself down a steep section. Also, guys, just super quickly, if you like this video, if you find it helpful at all, you could please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. So now I'm going to touch quickly on that difference between repelling and abseiling. There's actually a really cool historical difference as to why the two words exist and why they're both used when they really just describe one thing. I actually have a separate video on that topic if you want to check it out. I go more into detail. Basically, repelling is used commonly in North America and Britain, and because those, especially the USA, where the term repelling was born, it was a hotspot for rock climbing in the 1950s, and rock climbers used the word repelling much more, especially during those days. Whereas in a lot of European countries, specifically Germany and France, these were big mountaineering countries. And like I said, mountaineering was the sport that first coined the term to abseil. And so that kind of tradition and, I guess just the tradition for the old sport of mountaineering and its advent and its importance in those cultures, especially 50 to 100 years ago. That's kind of why abseiling is used more in those areas. But again, when you come down to it, abseiling just means lowering yourself on a piece of rope over a steep section. Yeah, there's really not that much to it. You can say you're going to abseil, you can say you're going to rappel. Anyone who's really involved in the sport is going to recognize what you mean either way. So there you go. That's the difference, or that's not the difference. That's what abseiling is, what it means. Like I said, if you want to learn more about the difference between it and repelling, I have another video on that. You can check that out on my channel. If not, thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing and have a great day.